Good afternoon, everybody. Liz Giesland with Better Lifestyle Solutions. And I'm going to admit right away, excuse me, I have a new phone. And so far, everything looks like normal, but just giving you all kind of a heads up that I'm on my new phone. Today, I decided that I had that little bit of a lasagna noodle hack last week. Excuse me. And I wanted to really go into just how I make my lasagnas because I think that this is a really brilliant way, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what I do, and hopefully this will make your lasagna life easier. Okay, I'm looking at how you guys can see me. Okay, this is the pan I was talking about last week, the poultry pan, and yes, indeed, that is what it's called. I know the reading is backwards, but it's handy foil poultry pans. I think they come, there's 3 in a pack. These work great. And here is what I discovered over my years of personal chefing. Get yourself some foil. Because you have to remember that I'm making these and I'm going to then portion them for my clients. And I'm going to need to portion them evenly. So I'm going to take this piece of foil and I'm just going to put it down, going one direction in this pan. I'm sorry for the noise. Okay. There we go. So it's going to lip over and then, have the short sides. Then take nonstick foil or use the regular foil and spray it. I'm confessing I have run out of spray. So I'm going to use the nonstick. And actually in the very beginning, I used to use the nonstick both directions, and that was sort of a waste because really this is the only one that really needs to be nonstick, not the one underneath. So I'm going to go in here with this. And then we're going to talk about the ingredients for the lasagna. And now, while I'm doing this little bit of labor, let's talk about a decision that I made. Some of you that have paid attention or looked on my timeline, I started a group. It's a closed group. Of course, all you have to do is ask to join. I'm going to put you in there, but I'm not one to just go through and just add all my peeps, and that's just the way Facebook has you do it. You just add somebody and then you have to say, I don't want to be in there. I don't want to put people through that. So if you want to be in, join, because what I decided is that when I share something, if it's information that A, you didn't see or you can't remember and you want to go back, you've got to scroll down through my timeline, and I don't always hashtag things right, and it's, it just makes it easier. From now on, what I'm going to do is in a group, you have a file section. So then what I can do is I can upload recipes, bada bing, bada boom. You can go in there and go, oh, what she's added, and you'll get notified when I add stuff. So it's going to be a way, and I will eventually go through, because I've done videos on different products that are great, tools. I did a Spenzi Spice review. And so what I'll do is I'll start sharing those lives too right into the group. So the ones that are, maybe that have a lot of information right there. So like I said, when you read the little announcement post at the beginning of the group, it's just a work in progress. I mean, it's something that I thought, though, my sister's the one that really suggested that's going to be the easiest way for y'all to get the information again. Okay, so here we've got the covered pan. This is my lasagna. Here's the ingredients. Last week I told you about the Barilla, the flat, no-boil noodles, which I also did a demo using these as manicotti rolls, which works brilliant. For the filling, for the cheese, here's that 4-cup measuring cup again, there is a 16-ounce container, and I use the low-fat cottage cheese, a half of a block, so 4 ounces of the Nufashell or third less fat cream cheese, 1 egg, about 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, depending if you want it to have a little bit more kick. A little bit does really just kind of give it a lift of flavor. It's good. And then I have almost 2 tablespoons of the Penzeys Italian herb dried mix in here. So that's all, and I did say 1 egg, I think, too. Okay, so that's all in here. I use the immersion blender for those ingredients. Then I folded in 1 cup of the finely shredded mozzarella cheese. Okay, there's 2 cups that come in a bag like this, so I'm saving the other. That's going to go on the top. And I know this sounds really decadent, but when I give you the numbers, which I'll do when I upload the recipe to the group, it's you're going to get 8 servings, and for a lasagna that tastes as luscious as this does, it's really quite surprising at how it fits in numbers wise. Okay, so you can make your own pasta sauce. Absolutely, go for it. I am an avid label reader, and I love this Barilla tomato basil. There's no preservatives. It's gluten free. It's just really a nice product. I think they have other flavors, marinara, whatever, but I've always gravitated towards the tomato basil. There's really a lot of good brands out there now. Try and steer away from the Prego and the Ragu. I mean, first of all, there's added sugar in those, and if you look at the ingredient list, it's not going to be as clean as something like this. So just be smart, do some research, and make good decisions. So what I do with this is I'm going to just pour just maybe about a half a cup. And I'm just going to swoosh that around so it covers the bottom. Okay. I'm going to put in my 2 noodles. Okay, see they're in there? Bada bing, bada boom. This kind of lasagna I make, as far for the meat, right, of course. This is a grilled, I call it grilled chicken. This was actually seared and then finished in the oven. So it's a chicken lasagna. It's a big favorite. Now I'm going to pour a third of this cheese mixture. It's just eyeball. And then spread that on top of your noodle. Okay. See? I hope this is doing all right. Then about a third. Now I weighed this after, and this is another thing that's great. If you're going to make some chicken, I made some chicken for something else. I went ahead and cooked extra chicken breast, diced them all up yesterday. So this is already finished. I did it the day before, and this weighed out cooked to right at about a pound. So obviously you start with a little bit more than a pound, and then you just finely dice it. And again, I'm going to sprinkle this over about a third of the chicken because I'm going to make 3 layers. This is such a delicious lasagna. It's delish. And then I'll be uploading this recipe. Okay, so that's about a third. Then the sauce. Just do a little over the top. And then you just need a little bit, like I'll show you. You'll be able to see. Just so you're just sort of covering. If you want, now this jar, this is a 24-ounce jar. You can be really liberal if you want with sauce. I know that they have some 32-ounce jars. I use the Costco marinara sauce too, which is delicious, and it's a little bit bigger. But you can see, you just need to just lightly coat that chicken. Putting these in the opposite direction now. Okay? And here we go. Bada bing, now it's just repeat and repeat. There's the cheese. And what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to have about a 5-minute live showing you after this is cooked, because obviously it's going to go in the oven for an hour and 15 minutes. An hour with the cover on, and 15 minutes with the cover with the foil off. Here we go with the chicken, a third. Now the other thing too, originally this recipe, you didn't stir in the shredded cheese with the other, you then sprinkled that on top. Well, that's just a whole nother step. Just stir the cheese in. It's all going to bake together, for Pete's sake. Just save yourself the time and one extra step. Okay, a little bit of sauce on that. So you can see where we're going. I know this is assembly line work, but here we go. 2 more noodles. Bada bing. Here we go with the cheese. And also, guys, I have some clients that, heaven forbid, need to gain weight. So those little old ladies, they're so sweet. And so, of course, I use full fat version of all of this for them. But just cutting back a little bit, to tell you the truth, that you can't tell the difference, I think, flavor-wise. It's just perfect. Okay, the last of the diced chicken. Here we go. Okay, some sauce. Now you need to make sure when you get down to this last layer, you have a little bit of sauce left to put on top of your final noodles. So if you think you're getting a little low, just put the sauce on. Here, I'll show you. See how I kind of have it not really all the way out to the edge? Well, that's okay, because when I put these other noodles on, let's see, what did I do? I went this way, this way, this way, this way. Okay. Not that it matters really, but I'm kind of persnickety. All right, then I'm just going to dump the rest of this sauce on top. And so you can see the chicken that wasn't covered. And you're just going to cover those noodles. And this is what I like about this is that the lasagna is moist, but it has a really nice integrity. And tomorrow, when I reveal and show how I portion it, once I take it out of the container, and I'm sure you can kind of guess how I do that since I lined the pan with oil. So then I'm going to take this mozzarella, and I'm just going to bada-bing. And this is definitely, guys, where it's really worth it to have the nonstick foil. You can spray regular foil top, but sometimes it still does stick. Okay. And there's so many variations of this same like cheese mixture, but then I'll do a meat mixture with ground turkey or ground beef. Make your filling as you like. I also do a vegetarian version. Do this exact same thing with the cheese, but then take 2 packs of the frozen spinach, thawed and drained, squeezed, and then mixed in with the cheese, and then just do that one layer. You basically, because you're not having any meat. Okay, there we go. Now the original recipe, also you could add some Parmesan on top of that. You can. I pretty much just use the mozzarella, but go ahead if you want to add some Parmesan cheese on top, just go for it. Make it your own. All right, now I'm going to take the nonstick, cover this baby up. It's going to go into a 375 oven for an hour. Then I will take the top off and let it go another 15 minutes, and then I'll look at it. If it needs another 5, you want it just nice and golden brown. So tomorrow, we will have the big reveal, and then I'll show you how beautifully this all portions. If you want to have it individual, I'll show you different ways that I portion it so you can have it for later. Also, guys, let's say you're going to have company. You want to get this made, and you're having company in a few days. If it was just a few days, you can leave this in your refrigerator, then bake it from the fridge, or throw it in the freezer and 2 weeks from now, thaw it, and then bake it in the fridge. So this can be frozen right like this, or in the fridge, and then within a couple of days you'd want to bake it, but it's very forgiving. So that is the news for today, and like I said, look for my group. It's Live Better, all caps. I think if you maybe hashtag my name, a couple people said, well, Liz, there's some ways that you can maybe do that. It could change the name, but it seems like people are finding it now, and I did make a post before, and I will also comment and make a post on this Facebook Live when it shows up on my profile. So anyway, hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to get this in the oven. Have a great remainder of your afternoon, and tomorrow I'll show you what I do with popping this out and how super slick and clean and easy it is to have beautifully portioned lasagna. Okay? Great. Have a great day, and remember, everybody, be better, do better, and live better. Talk to you soon. Bye.